Doctor, talk to us about the dangers of going to this back street, so that for a parent watching, for a young girl seated watching and considering, what dangers one exposes themselves going through these processes.
Okay, when you look at self-abortion, basically, one, you may be having a provider who is not skilled. So, in the pregnancy is in the womb, which is hidden inside your body. So, anything you're going to do by somebody who is not skilled is putting your life at risk. And that's why many complications arise and lives are lost. But probably looking at it in terms of methods used and in an unsafe environment, because if you're going to terminate a pregnancy, then you need a very sterile environment to reduce the risk of infection. The equipment you're using has to be safe equipment for terminating pregnancy, because we know, depending on what you're using, you are likely to cause more harm than good. So, looking at maybe people who take herbal concoctions, these herbal concoctions are toxic to the body. And some women have ended up with kidney problems, they're in coma, and some die. Some women take overdoses of drugs they've been given by this provider, so they just even buy over the counter and swallow. Also putting their lives at risk, like actually committing suicide, okay? But they are desperate. Then there are those who will use sharp instruments, which can injure the womb, even injure your intestines. And we see them in the hospitals. When they come, they have complicated, okay? Some in that environment may not know the risk of terminating the pregnancy itself, including bleeding. So you find a woman bleeding in a small facility where there is no capacity to resuscitate her, and they have died in these facilities. So there are so many complications which can arise from these unlicensed practices, and women have to be aware. And that's why I said the best alternative, which most of them at that particular time of psychological distress would not think of, is to come out in the open, okay, and have a discussion, even at the family level, at church level, at the facility level where they go, or even at school level. If you approach your teacher and tell them, I have conceived, what do I do? So, or you go, if you come to our facilities, that's why I say, even at the facility, we need to be prepared for young girls coming to us and telling us, I have conceived, I was not planning for it, what do I do? So that we take them through counseling that can encourage them to probably take the safer route of carrying the pregnancy, which is much safer to carry a pregnancy to term and deliver than to go for a backstreet abortion.
Yes.
Yes.
But as you've been saying, it has to be all hands on deck, because someone will listen to you say, carry it, go talk at the family level or at the church level. But there are those who have tried, and the backlash they receive,
yes,
they are told, you cannot come to church, you sinner, you know,
yes,
you're a bad example.
Yeah.
Or at home now, you don't go out with everybody else. So when they think of all of those potential repercussions, then they choose, you know what, the easy way or the way to get through this. So it has to be everyone. You agree?
It has to be everyone. And at the point you've made about these complications, we are actually just finishing a study looking at the cost, the public health cost of managing these complications in the Kenyan public health system. And it's a huge, huge cost, you know, that the government is, in terms of providers' time. Imagine when an expert of this quality and status spends 8 hours on a typical complication of abortion, you know, and stuff like that. And it's a huge, huge amount of money that can actually be invested in other areas. So it's like government is involved, families are involved, the church is involved, friends are involved, schools are involved, and it requires that those linkages to be brought together for us to deliver successful interventions.